Playboi Carti is one of the most divisive rappers in all of hip hop right now. Although he has this unique style that everybody loves, he also has a unique style that everybody hates. However, despite the amount of hate he receives, Carti still has one of the most loyal fan bases in all of hip hop. And with new music on the horizon, I think it's cool to see how he got here in the first place. The story begins in the underground of hip hop as the rise of SoundCloud made it possible for a new generation of artists to gain exposure without needing the support of a big label. And with the platform encouraging independency, a lot of new artists created music that would change the sound of hip hop for years to come. Among those artists that took over the genre in the late 2010s was Playboi Carti.
I can't go in, I ain't ready.
He'd have massive hits on the platform with Broke Boy and Fetty. Heavy emphasis on Fetty because that track just goes hard, and because it was the song that would get him the attention of ASAP Mob, which was exciting because Carti had shown a lot of potential pretty early on into his career, and it's always nice when people get their recognition. At the same time as Carti's rise was the rise of Lil Uzi Vert. Uzi was also part of the wave of SoundCloud rappers taking over music, so unsurprisingly they get along.
So my eyes around my name is I'm a rock star.
The first track that they'd collaborate on was Left Right. It was a cool thing for fans, but their real commercial success came in 2017 with the release of Woke Up Like This. But for me personally, the most notable thing about this track is that it was the first track where Carti would collaborate with Pierre Bourne. Pierre Bourne was a relatively unknown producer at the time, at least outside of the Atlanta area. And it wasn't even supposed to really happen because Carti just happened to stumble across the beat. And it actually annoyed Bourne because he's kind of like a work in studio type of producer.
Walk up to niggas talking like me.
But yeah, this was the beginning of the Playboi Carti and Pierre Bourne duo. So honestly, I get it, because at least on the music side of things, they really did mesh well together. Carti was such a big fan of Pierre Bourne that he changed the creative direction of his upcoming mixtape, scrapping most of it despite the fact that he had been working on it for years, just to make Pierre's sound and production the centerpiece of the project. A project that would release on April 14th, 2017. It was Carti's debut mixtape, and on top of production from Pierre Bourne, for many this was the real introduction to who Playboi Carti was going to be as an artist. The tape really showed who Playboi Carti was in terms of musical style, as you got the lean back type of flow, drag the words a little bit, and you also had his ad-libs, which are pretty iconic at this point. And without Pierre being there for most of the project, I feel like Carti's personality and his unique flow might have been drowned out by like another type of production. The mixtape was a success, and other people were taking note of his success because that same year he would appear on Double XL's freshman list.
Purple 8, yeah, I said that Drake.
This was such an odd group of people looking back, I'm not gonna lie.
And if the world ever has an apocalypse, I will kill all of you fuckers.
Anyways though, 2018 will bring along Carti's first studio album. With the release of Die Lit, it was clear that Playboi Carti was here to stay for some time. The album had double the features as Playboi Carti's mixtape, but it still kept that Carti and Pierre Bourne sound, because Pierre Bourne produced basically every track on this album.
Just to feel like this, it took a long time.
It sounded like Pierre Bourne was expanding his musical palette, and that gave Playboi Carti a bigger play box to experiment with. Also, Uzi and Carti had one of their best songs together on this album, at least if you ask me.
Everybody rock with me because I'm up now. Took your girl.
To me, Shootout is one of those songs that really defines what the late 2010s sounded like, at least for hip hop. And of course, the rest of the album was pretty cool too. It just sounded cool. It's hard to critique something that's just vibes, you know? And it was evident that Carti's style was starting to change little by little. He always had this slurred cadence to his voice, but it was slowly starting to become more noticeable. If not in 2018, it would definitely be heard in 2019. This is Earthquake, the lead single for Tyler the Creator's Igor. Technically, this is Carti's biggest hit. I wonder how many people actually knew what he was saying like on first listen, cause not gonna lie, I didn't.
They might fuck my love, they might call my love.
And I know it sounds like a surface level observation to say that, but I remember taking pride in actually understanding Carti at the time. I just couldn't in this verse. And although I get it, it was kind of a sign that his flow and his style was evolving. Mainly because it was more noticeable that this shit was fire as fuck. And I mean, I guess he was technically doing the same thing he always did. It was just a more exaggerated version of it. A bit more pitched up, and it sounded more melodic than it used to sound. But it was around this time that Carti became part of the I Lie About Releasing Music Club. Actually, no, I lied. Carti was always like that. Whether it be the mixtape that took years to release, a collaboration album with Lil Uzi Vert that never came out, or this new album that people were discussing. However, months became years, and Carti fans became a desperate group of people, and all they wanted was Whole Lotta Red. Obviously, quarantine happened, so things were gonna get delayed, but I don't think you understand how desperate these motherfuckers were.
Alright, bro. Playboi Carti. Drop Whole Lotta Red, bro.
They were listening to Mario Judah. Remember Mario Judah?
You mind taking the Illuminati hood off him? Yeah, but oh shit.
He was like a meme in 2020, and that's who these motherfuckers were going to for new music. However, on Christmas night 2020, Carti fans would receive a Christmas miracle because Whole Lotta Red would finally drop, and they hated it. Actually, I lied. Carti fans, for the most part, didn't hate on the album that much, but the rest of the world did. And even though I don't get the album, I think it was a little bit misjudged. We had been in quarantine for like 6 months at this point. People were not in the mood for Playboi Carti. This is a mosh pit album. This is an album that you can listen to with friends maybe. And December of 2020 was not a time for people to like hang out. I mean, people were still hanging out, don't get me wrong, but they weren't supposed to, at least not legally, I think depending on your state or country. I don't know. COVID was a weird time.
Go to the moon, go to the moon.
As time has went on, people have come around to the album, and some even call it Playboi Carti's best album. Do I agree? No, I think Dial It is way better, but I get it, I think. I don't know. I still don't get Whole Lotta Red. I respect it, but I don't get it. And in the years since, Carti has done stuff here and there with Kanye and some other people, but I think it's best we get a new Carti album, which might happen soon, or we might get one in like 3 years. Who knows? Honestly, this for all the Carti comments that I've gotten. Make a Carti video. I'm not a Carti fan, man. So, yeah, this is your Carti video, I guess. With that being said, still, shout out to y'all. Shout out to me. Shout out to me especially for making this video. And shout out to J Dilla. Yeah.